Hi everyone, welcome to this afternoon's topic lesson. So as always, I'd like to start off by writing the date and skill into your catch-up books. So the date is Friday the 29th of January 2021 and your skill is to choose a realistic goal and identify how to achieve it. So you can pause the video and have a go at that now. Okay, welcome to our PSHE lesson. So in school, we call this jigsaw lessons. If you're in school at the moment, you might want to just fast forward this bit. I'm just going to do a little explanation of what jigsaw is. So jigsaw is an opportunity that we have each week for the adults and the children in each class across the school to have a discussion about some aspects of life that we maybe wouldn't get to cover throughout other lessons in our curriculum. So it is more of a discussion-based lesson as opposed to sort of task-based. I will keep setting small tasks to do at the end of each session, as I would normally do if we were in school. But we really encourage the conversation. So if you and your child at home, or if you're working with your sibling or your grandparent, whoever you are working with at home, if you find yourselves getting into a really good discussion about a topic or a subject or an opinion, that's what's encouraged. So please don't worry that if you maybe get slightly sidetracked by the discussion and you maybe don't have time to complete the written activity, that's completely fine. And actually in this lesson in particular, that is encouraged because we find that it's a really nice safe space for us all to just have a good chat essentially about lots of different things. Okay, so we'll start off with the Jigsaw Charter. So let's remind ourselves of the Jigsaw Charter. So the Jigsaw Charter, for those of us that haven't done it before, is essentially a set of rules that we use in class, and we just remind ourselves of these at the beginning of each lesson. And they're there to keep us safe and to remain respectful towards each other. So obviously sometimes we will talk about things which everyone has their own opinion of, and that's fantastic, but sometimes people's opinions will be different. And so it's just encouraging that, but also reminding us that we need to make sure that we are respectful of the other person's opinion, even if it might not be the same as our own. So some of these will obviously be slightly easier and slightly more difficult at home. So I'll just talk through them too. We take turns to speak. Hopefully that one will be a lot easier to do at home because there might be less of you. I hope there's a few less of you than we would have in class. We use kind and positive words, always, just because we want to keep it a safe space for us and for the children. We listen to each other. We have the right to pass. So this is one that if we talk about a subject, and we often pull on our own experiences, but if somebody doesn't want to share, that's fine. That is totally fine, and they have the right to say that they don't want to, and they have the right to pass on to the next person. So whilst you're at home as well, that's just something to bear in mind for yourself and for the children. We only use names when giving compliments or being positive. So we never use someone else's name in a negative way. We keep it positive, again, to be keeping ourselves safe and respectful towards each other. And we respect each other's privacy. So obviously at home, this might be slightly more difficult because you won't then go home, or we obviously in school, we would remain at school, but we wouldn't share stories that someone said in class to children in another year group, for example, because it's not our story to share. Whereas at home, of course, you are going to be together, so you may continue talking about it, but it's just bearing in mind that privacy and that confidentiality when you are discussing opinions and ideas. Okay. So we'll start off with our aims for this lesson. So in today's lesson, hopefully, we will be able to understand the difference between realistic and an unrealistic goal. And we're hoping that I can tell you something that I have achieved and explain how it made me feel. So that doesn't just mean me, Miss Bulford, that's for all of you guys who are watching this. So those are our aims for today. So we normally take time at the beginning of a jigsaw lesson to calm ourselves and just get our sort of minds focused and ready for the lesson that we're about to have. And we would have a chime bar, but unfortunately, for some reason, the sound keeps reverberating through the speakers in my laptop, and it seems very unkind to put you through that. So I'm not going to use the chime bar. So children, just imagine we've got the chime bar, and you can explain how we use that to your parents as well, or to your adults at home. So we're going to take a moment to focus our minds at the beginning of what has been a really successful week. So you can either close your eyes or lower your gaze and think about your calm place. So I know this is something that in Yellow class we've done a lot of. We do this after lunch each day, just for 2 minutes, just to take some time to breathe and to calm ourselves down after we've been outside playing, so that we're ready and focused for the afternoon. So imagine we've got our chime bar. We think, lower your gaze, and adults, you can do this as well. I'd like you to take 3 deep breaths. So in through your nose and out through your mouth. And breathe in and slowly breathe out. Last time, breathe in and slowly breathe out. Okay, so you can continue those deep breaths, and I'd like you to just think about wherever your calm place is. So it might be a beach, it might be your bedroom or somewhere in your house. It might be with someone you love and someone that loves you. So it's somewhere that you feel safe and calm. And today I want you to just think about what you can hear in your safe place. So maybe you can hear the waves, or maybe you can hear people's voices. We're just going to stay there for a couple more seconds. Make sure you keep taking those deep breaths. Okay, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, well done. So let's start our jigsaw lesson then. So this statement, I will sit still for 45 seconds. So I'd like you to pause the video and have a think, is it a realistic goal or is it an unrealistic goal? So this might be different between adults and children. You know, for me it's quite an easy realistic goal, but for other people you might not think it's a realistic goal. So you can talk about what's the difference between realistic and unrealistic. I'd also like you to then think about what could you do, what would be a good thing for yourself to do to make it slightly more attainable, which means a bit easier. What steps could you put in place to make sure that you could achieve this goal? So you can pause the video and have a think about that now. Okay, so as I said, for me, I think this is a realistic goal. I'm in the house on my own at the moment, so I haven't got any distractions from other people. And being a grown-up, I've had lots of experience of sitting still. So another thing though, to make sure that I make it slightly easier for me, I'd make sure that I've not got anything in my hands, because if I have things in my hands I tend to fiddle with them, and they might distract me, and it might be easier to close your eyes as well if you want to do that, as an idea for other people, but I think for me that's not the best thing to do for me, so it's up to you guys. Okay. So hopefully, I tried filming this a minute ago and it didn't work. So hopefully this egg timer will slowly disappear. So that will be our 45 seconds, and we're all going to have a go at sitting as still as we can, still as a statue, for 45 seconds. Okay, so find yourself a comfortable position. Let's see if we can reach this goal. Okay, well done. Did you do it? If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. Well done. Good job. Okay. So, what is an unrealistic goal then? And why is it important that we can recognise what an unrealistic goal is? So you can pause the video and have a little chat about that now. Okay, so I think that it's important that we can tell when it's unrealistic, so when it's not something that we would be able to achieve, because sometimes when you don't reach a goal, you might feel a bit sad and feel negative feelings, and if you're setting yourself a goal that you're never going to be able to reach, then you might sometimes feel really sad about that. And that's not a good thing, is it? We want to make sure we're feeling positive feelings. So I'd like you to have a go at discussing these goals. So you've got 8 goals on here. And I'd like you to talk to your partner or your adult about which of these do you think are realistic and which are unrealistic, and why. So we've got learning to fly, walking 5 kilometers, growing 3 arms, learning to tie my shoelaces, winning the lottery, no longer feeling scared of the dark, winning a gold medal at the Olympics, and watching less TV. So you can pause the video and talk about those 8 things now. Decide what's realistic and what's unrealistic. Again, they might be different for different people. So pause the video, off you go. Okay, so for me, learning to fly, that could be interpreted different ways, couldn't it? If you're learning to fly a plane, then maybe I could. But if I'm learning to fly like a bird, probably not a very realistic goal for me. Walking 5 kilometers, I think, yeah, I could probably do that. I've done that before, so it would probably be a realistic goal for me. Growing 3 arms. Now, I'm not sure if this is one that I'd maybe be able to do. I'm pretty sure that's quite unrealistic. Learning to tie my shoelaces, yeah, that's something that is definitely realistic for me, that I've learnt to do. At the ripe old age of 25, I've learnt to tie my shoelaces, but it did take a lot of practice. Winning the lottery, so that's an interesting one. I think it depends if you play the lottery. So hopefully kids, you said that because you don't play it, but obviously adults, you might play it with your children. So again, it's going to be different for everyone. No longer feeling scared of the dark. Yep, I think that's one that you can definitely achieve. Winning a gold medal at the Olympics. So for me, it's probably quite unrealistic because I'm getting older now and I'm teaching, so I can't train to do anything at the Olympics. But for you guys, it might be more realistic because you are younger and you're able to invest more time in that. And watching less TV. At the moment, that seems like quite a difficult one, but I think it probably is a realistic goal that we could do. So of those realistic goals that you discussed, and remember they're going to be different for everyone, can you please think about what steps you could put in place to help you reach the realistic goals? So if that means tying your shoelaces, what steps could you put in? Well, you need to have lots of practice before you're going to learn how to do it, for example. So you can pause the video and have a little chat now. Okay, so I have put some pictures of successful goals on the next few slides, and I'd like you to pause the video on each picture, each slide. There's a couple of pictures on each, and discuss the following. So, do you see success in the picture? Again, that's going to be something that some people do, some people don't, and that's totally fine. So, why do you see success, or why not? If you do see success, how do you think the person in the picture is feeling? Okay, so we can move on to them. So you can pause the video and discuss these pictures and the box over there to remind you what to talk about. Okay, and this one. Okay, well done. Right, so does reaching a goal make you feel positive feelings or negative feelings? What do you think? So for me, it makes me feel positive feelings. And I'd like you to think about what sort of positive feelings might you feel. So again, pause the video and have a little chat about those feeling words that we talk about and how you might feel when you reach one of your goals. Okay, so these are some examples of things that I feel: delighted, proud, successful, happy, and pleased. So I wonder if you had the same or if you had something different. Okay, so I'd like you now to take a moment to think about something that you've done that has made you feel proud of yourself. And if you would like to, share it with the person that you're working with. If you're in school, you can share it with the class. Of course, only if you would like to. Adults, that goes for you guys as well. So it might be something that you think is really big that you've achieved, you're really proud of. It might be something smaller. It's totally up to you. So you can pause the video and have a think now. I'd also like you to think now, well done, about what steps you put in place to reach that goal. So you can pause the video and have a think. Okay, so something that I've done that made me feel really proud. Let's think. This week I filmed this video, and it was something that filming doesn't come naturally to me. It was never part of my training, so sometimes I felt a bit anxious when I'm filming, but actually I've just do it one at a time, and we've had lots of training, and I talked to my friends at school to make me feel better about it, and they've helped me to make sure that I can do it. So I have reached that goal. Okay. Right. It's important that we keep hold of these positive feelings inside of us that we get when we reach a goal. So let's have a go together. You can close your eyes, or you can just look down and imagine that you've got a treasure chest in your tummy. So it might not be in your tummy, you could have it wherever you want. It might be in your hand, it might be in your head, but somewhere in your body, imagine you've got a treasure chest. And I want you to think about all of those words that you just said to describe your positive feelings when you reach your goal. I want you to think about putting those positive feelings inside your chest, wherever it is that you've got it. Put it in and lock them away nice and safe so that we can keep them there to help us think of positive thoughts when we're feeling sad. So I think this is something, especially at the moment, with everything that life is bringing us at the moment, is something that's really important, that we hold on to those positive feelings. So even when we're feeling a bit sad or a bit down, we can open that chest and think about those proud moments, those happy thoughts, those happy positive feelings, and remind ourselves and hopefully cheer ourselves up a little bit and feel proud of ourselves again, even if we're having a bit of a down day. So you can pause the video and just have a think about putting those thoughts in now. And if you'd like to discuss this with your partner, then you can. Okay, so another way to keep hold of these thoughts and feelings is to write them down. So this leads us on to your activity for today. So your activity is to draw your own treasure chest. So I will put this picture as a document under the video on the website for you to print out. Unfortunately, it is quite blurry. I couldn't get it any clearer, so I'm sorry about that. But you can record your name at the top. It says this treasure chest belongs to. You can write something that you're proud of in the middle. So it might be what you thought about earlier, it might be something new. And at the bottom, I'd like you to write a sentence or draw a picture describing how you feel when you completed that goal. So this treasure chest is just a guide. I've put it on the next slide as well. And as I said, you can print it out from the website if you'd like to. But if you want to design your own treasure chest, you can do that as well. And of course, colour it in, make it bright and personal to you, and something that you are proud of. So you can pause the video now to have a look at this treasure chest if you want to. Okay, finally then, your plenary for today. I'd like you to think about what your next goal is going to be. If you've already set yourself a goal, then you can just think about this one. I'd like you to think about what steps you will put in place in order to reach this goal. So we've talked a lot about things we've already achieved, but maybe this is looking forwards to something that we could do between now and next week when we do our next jigsaw lesson. Is there something that you can put in place to do to get yourself a little bit closer to achieving that goal, or maybe even achieving it before our lesson next week? Okay, you can share that with your partner if you want to, but of course, if not, you can keep it in your treasure chest, keep it personal to you. Well done, guys. We are officially at the end of week 4. I'm sorry, I've got a little bug in my throat. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Take care and stay safe. Bye.